Hey there YouTube, it's Kurt here, and today I wanted to talk about how you should prepare for a gig. As a guitarist, as a musician, I don't know that much about drummers, but yeah, for mostly guitarists and vocalists. There are a few things you want to keep in mind. I actually have a gig this Saturday, and I've been through, I guess, about a dozen different full band gigs. Did a few acoustic gigs myself. And there are a few things that stick out in my mind that come across as being very important when you prepare for these. One is that it's obvious that you should practice. You should practice a lot and make sure you have everything down. That way, the more you practice, the less nervous you'll get. I think there's always going to be some nerves, like if you're coming in to any new situation as a musician. But if you practice your butt off to the point where you get a little bit bored of your own songs, then that's going to give you the confidence to be able to play it in front of people. And the people will just give you the natural vibe to have the pressure to play well. So that'll get you at least through it. Even if you make a couple mistakes, if you prepared it over and over and over again, yeah, you should be able to do just fine. A couple things to keep in mind. As far as how hard to practice, I'd say do a couple hours the day before, get a nice warm up the day of, and that should pretty much get you going, get everything loosened up, and not working too hard. Now, vocally, you don't want to push yourself vocally. Definitely the day before the gig. The day before should probably be a rest. Even 2 days rest is even better. That's pretty much ideal. If you've never sang before, yeah, practice is insanely important leading up to the week of. So that's one thing you got to keep in mind. Two, I would make sure to do an inventory of all of your equipment. That way you're able to keep things organized. Do the inventory the day before. That way, in case you got to run to the store and get some backup stuff, it'll be there if you need it. That is a really important thing to keep in mind. Yeah, as long as you have the inventory and you check it before and after the gig, you should be fine. Three, get to the venue. If you're able to get to the venue early, wherever you're playing, that is really good for you. It makes you more comfortable at the venue if you feel it out for a couple of hours. You're able to get things set up. You're not rushing. Rushing destroys everything. I think rushing destroys almost any craft if you feel like you're pressured to do something. So if you get to a club early, that will really help out your cause. 4, make sure you have backup equipment. Backup strings. If you don't have a backup amplifier, I get it with younger musicians. Sometimes it's harder to afford backup equipment all right away, but you should definitely be able to afford some strings in case one breaks and know how to apply it pretty quickly. And 5, this might be the most important one, but remember when you're on stage, you're there not just for the crowd, but you're there to have fun. If you're not having fun, the crowd's probably not going to have that much fun. And that just comes back to why you want to do music to begin with. If you're on stage and you're too nervous, that can be a set destroyer. But if you get on stage and you're bored and burnt out on something, that's also going to ruin it for your audience. So just remember that you're there to have fun and make really loud noises so that people can enjoy it. Yeah, that's a psychological way to prepare for that. As far as putting your fingers on the fretboard, yeah, just do the exercises. If you've practiced up enough to this point, it shouldn't be that much of an issue if you just do a couple hours of practice in the days leading up to it. And that should be fine. And make sure you communicate with your other band members. That communication is very important too. So that can be a number 6. But those are the pieces of advice I wanted to share today in my experiences with my time of gigging, which hasn't been that much, but it's been about 12, and it's been in a very relational scene. The big stars, they're gigging from House of Blues to House of Blues to House of Blues, and where people like me, they're going from local bar to local bar to local bar. And hopefully I'll get to the House of Blues someday. But for right now, this is where the building blocks are. And this helps anyone transition to that next level if you're able to do very well on that circuit. So, that's all I got for the day. And hopefully I'll bring more videos your way. You can check out my band page. I'll leave that in the description down there. Yeah, so you can like us there, and hopefully we'll get some footage and stuff, and we will be in Bradley, Illinois on Saturday, and we'll be playing at the Spot on Broadway Street. So yeah, if you're around, you can check us out and check out some good old rock and roll. So that's all I got. Thanks, guys.